watching the mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar. We are in Delhi witnessing the latest edition of Emerge Tech, the Multicity Roadshow brought to you by the mainstream. I have with me a true dynamic leader from the tech space with a remarkable experience, Mr. Vipin Kumar. So thank you so much for joining us firstly.
Pleasure's mine.
Absolutely. With that being said, I understand you have a wide experience with regards to emerging technologies like AI. On those lines, I want to start with how is AI shaping the industry today? What are some of the key challenges that you have observed, and what is the next decade when we talk about AI?
See, if you look at the Indian industry, since the last about half a decade, we have seen a lot of AI. I mean, there's every seminar you go, everywhere you go, you only hear the word AI. So it has excited the industry, to be very frank. And industry in the exploratory stage has used maybe the smaller part of the AI, which is more of a chatbot.
Correct.
Or chat GTP. So these were the cases where industry got some insights.
Right.
And even if I look at from the technology perspective, technology was also evolving. But over the last half a decade journey, if I look at that, there is a certain level of maturity in the vendor community where I find that the skill sets are not working. And there's a certain level of, a kind of maturity or a vision with business.
Correct.
Now, this vision, what it is giving is that industry is now saying, what more I can do with AI apart from these chatbots.
Right.
Chatbot do aid a process, but that doesn't disturb business. Now, if you look at the purpose of AI, AI is made to disturb businesses. So when I say disturb businesses, it is supposed to challenge the existing working environment of business, create new revenue opportunities.
Right.
So this is what AI is supposed to do. Now, if I take my cases only, if I try to go and do an AI project, what is the biggest challenge I face? Everybody says there is a lot of data in the industry, which is true. But when I go and define any specific use case, supply chain automation, shop floor automation, sales chain automation, you require a seamless data which is absolutely relevant to what I want to do.
Right.
Though there is data everywhere, but that data has to be brought in some form and format where the model can be trained.
Correct.
And which can deliver. Now that is, to my mind, is a very huge challenge. And second challenge I find is this project requires a lot of soft skill management. You need to sell this idea to your business counterparts to excite them.
Right.
Because ultimately, this is not a technology-driven project. The data has to come from business, the vision statement has to come from business, and the execution possibly can be driven through technology.
Correct.
So this is a joint collaboration with business. I think the role of CIO here is both of a technocrat as well as of a mentor. So you bring both business and IT together, also bring the vendor communities together, and then really plan that these are the 2 or 3 major cases where in the current process I can do disruption and give the organization the benefit of efficiency or productivity or growth.
Absolutely, and like you said, AI, there's more to AI than just chatbot or chat GPT tools. Well, are there any key recommendations that organizations or businesses should be careful about while designing an application these days?
Yes, there must be. See, if you look at the whole AI culture, the underlying base of all AI is data, and the underlying base of all data is vision.
Correct.
And when you document this, you really understand what is it that you want. Now, if this being your journey, the biggest problem here is that IT had a preconceived notion that you give him a problem. The people go and write some application, solve it, do some test cases, and give it back to business.
Right.
That was more of a point transaction. In AI, it is not like that. It is like enabling somebody's vision through technology, but making him a key part of this whole process.
Right.
So it is not an isolated project where I sit somewhere and design an application. It is a very collaborative project where I have to make business part of my designing strategy.
Absolutely.
That's a big difference.
Great, and I think we cannot agree anymore because while there are tools or branches of AI like Gen AI or even agentic AI taking up these days, there has to be some level of key checks that businesses must do internally as well. Lastly, we are in Emerge Tech Delhi. We are witnessing the latest edition of Emerge Tech. How relevant these conferences are, especially where there is a lot of exchange of information around emerging technology and trends.
See, as I said, AI is still standing on the feet as well as the Indian industry is concerned.
Correct.
So when you come to organization to like seminars like this, the biggest advantage you get is that you tend to hear a lot of use cases, how various industries, various verticals of industries, healthcare, manufacturing, automotive, process industry, how they are using AI.
Correct.
And this broadens up the mental vision of people. I mean, through intensive dialogues, you actually learn the pitfalls which others have gone through, so
Correct.
that you can avoid that
Yes,
yourself.
yes.
So this gives a certain level of maturity to an individual's viewpoint while executing similar projects in his own industry.
Right, right.
So I think that is one of the key takeaways from these kind of conferences.
Superb. Thank you so much, Mr. Kumar, and thank you so much for being so candid and sharing your wonderful experience. Well, while we wrap up, I look forward to connect with you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.